Okay, so lastly, like I said, I'll mention this. I'm going to basically use this shape editor since I find as soon as the other one is closed, like I said, I'm not exactly sure how to get it back open, but I think there's probably either in general editor or maybe modeling editors. I have to double check where that is. But anyways, I'm going to close it up. So I usually use the shape editor these days. One thing you want to do, so if we scrub this back and forth, we can now see that this is actually, right, animatable. It's opening nicely. I do want the teeth. I'll also smooth these as well. So I'm going to select the teeth, or I should say select the head. Let me just go back to the shape, sorry, animation editor. Shape editor. There you go. Set it back to 0. What you want to do is actually connect this so that when you open the mouth, it drives the teeth. We've only done kind of the very basic set of blend shapes, sort of foundational blend shapes. So, you know, we haven't done things like moving the jaw left to right, because that is a natural motion that can happen. So if the face can do that, then the teeth and gums, the lower teeth and gums specifically, should be able to do that. So if you have extra blend shapes like that and you've got them on 2 different meshes, you can have the head mesh basically drive the teeth and gums, right? And tongue if that's part of your setup. So in this case, what I'm going to do is go to Windows, General Editor, and I'm going to look for the Connection Editor. It's right here, Connection Editor. So I'll click on Connection Editor, and I'm going to basically say Reload Left, and I think I might have to select it actually from here. I'll click on Inputs under the channel box, and then I'll select the Open and say Reload Left, and it should bring me closer to the where the weights are. Let's see. Blend shape input, weight function. There we go. Weight right here, and then Open. So we basically want this to then drive the teeth and gums. So I'll go to the, again, it should be relatively easy to find. Yeah, for some reason this has like 2 names. I'm going to just make sure this is set properly. There we go. So then I'm going to say, select the geo character teeth gums, go to its blend shape, and just simply select jaw open and say reload right. And again, we want to find weight, and it's basically just got the 1 weight. If you click the right arrow, it basically will create that connection. So now, like I said, when I simply drive this, you see the teeth and gums go with, right? Pretty nice. Pretty easy. The other thing is I'm going to set my timeline to roughly 300-400 frames. I'll go with like 400 frames, and I'm going to basically start animating. The best way to do it is there's a process called capping. I don't know if every animation teacher uses that kind of, I would say, sort of formal term, but the idea is that you want to kind of key everything at once, right? So you know that you're not accidentally shifting and moving keys. So yeah, let me just make sure this is also set to 0, and then I'll click on the key button here. I'll move ahead 10 frames. And then I'll just select the open, and we'll fire off the open. And again, I'll select all and key. I'll go ahead to maybe, I usually go about 15-20 frames further in the timeline. Oops, let's just slide this over so I can really focus on this section of the timeline. Key again, and then at some point, so usually I like a bit of overlap. So maybe at about frame 20, so this is about 10 frames, 10-15 frames in, I'll go over here and I'll say, okay, let's maybe go to the, because I usually mix the wide as well, so I'm going to just select the wide, slide it up, and you can go to the max or go to something that feels comfortable between the two, okay? I feel like that's pretty good. And then again, we'll select the rest here. So I'm just clicking on the sort of topmost unkeyed blend shape, holding shift, left clicking, and then hitting the red dot there, okay? Yeah, now I'm going back to the 0 here, which I don't exactly want. So I'm going to just, again, go back to wide. Maybe bring the close down. There we go. And yeah, let me just, if you have issues with the keys, you can also just, yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay, I think that's okay. So it's a good idea to kind of hit hit playback just to see, is the timing okay? I think it looks okay. And so I usually like to transition. So I'll jump ahead another 10, 15 frames. I'm going to, again, key everything. Set this to 0, and then I'll just select the narrow. Usually there's a kind of a transition from narrow to wide. There we go. That's about frame 45. So again, I'll jump ahead to about frame 60. And then I'll just select all again. So I usually want a bit of overlap in the mouth, like I said. So I might, in the middle here, go back to an open. So I'll select the open and adjust the narrow down a little bit. There, and then let's see, I'm at full narrow there. Okay, so I can go back to 0 at about frame 60. There we go. Jump ahead another 5 frames or so and start to work on the other stuff. So again, I'll select all, just basically cap, and then go to upper lip up and lower lip down. Kind of showing the teeth there. Jump ahead 15 frames or so. Select all, key. Yeah, let's see. So it's quite long. Yeah, so I'll go 5 frames earlier, again, key everything. So I transition over about 5 frames to nothing here. So we're going to the neutral. I'll go ahead 5 frames, and then I'm going to do, usually I do the lower lip up and the upper lip down. It should almost be called in because it's like curling in, but that's fine. Where is it? Lower lip down. No, lower lip up. All right, let me key all first, actually, just to make sure I cap it. Because, yeah, the last thing you want is like one of these blend shapes having a long, slow transition, and then it's kind of screwing up or interacting weirdly with other targets, okay? So I go back to kind of a neutral, then at frame, let me just make sure, yeah, that's keyed, frame 85, I'm keyed, so then on here, I'm gonna do the upper lip down, low lip up, there we go, right? So you get that kind of MVP shape. Again, I'll jump into roughly frame 100. Select this, key all again. Again, I'll go back 5 frames, key, so I, again, can transition out of this back to 0. Go ahead 5 frames, key all again, and then just select, let's say, the frown. Pretty extreme, but that's okay. Go ahead 15 frames, select all, key. So it's about a 20 frame pacing with like a 5 frame transition beginning to end, or at the either end of the cap. And then yeah, let's set this back to 0. And I might in the middle just try to add the open, because sometimes we'll have a mixture again of the open close. So I'll just again play with the, here, I'll undo this because I do want to be usually right on like 5s and 10s. So I was on 109, I just shifted to 1010. So I'm going to go to, yeah, maybe a bit of open and some variation of the frown. And you can also kind of add some additional lip action, right? Blending multiple shapes. I usually want to see what, don't do the lower lip down and up because they contradict each other. But like, yeah, usually the upper lip up and the lower lip down and the frown in the open, those 4 can actually work together, right? To create this like very expressive like scream or yell. So the point is I want to see that these blend shapes actually work together, right? They work in combination, 2 or more at one time. And then I also want to kind of be able to see them work a little bit in isolation. So we want to have a bit of animation where that sort of transitioning happens. Okay, so I'll move ahead 5 frames again. I'll select all because I think I'm pretty much done. The mouth. So I usually do kind of all the mouth keys first, then I go through and do the brows. And that for me is usually enough. And if you want to do at the end, maybe a 2, 3, 4 different expressions. It's not like we have a happy face, an angry face, but we're using this flexibility, with a very minimal set of blend shapes. You can do nearly all your lip sync, and you can get a variety of unique expressions out of this, limited set of blend shapes, okay? So yeah, we can do browse. Let me just select browse out up. There we go. So we again have a transition here, browse out up. I'll go to frame 140, again, select all, key all. Oops, let me undo. I'll go back a frame because I was just a frame off. There we go. And at frame 135, I'll turn this down. So again, I might in the middle of the browse out up, I'll go to browse maybe mid down, right? So we can get a very like tense expression there. Yeah, I don't know if I left enough room there, so I'm going to just undo that, actually. Yeah, I'll keep this, let's see, 125. Ooh, what's happening? 125, and that goes back down at 140, 135. Yeah, I'll take this and just leave it at full here. There we go. Yeah, maybe around 130. I'm going to just go in and slide up the browse mid down, right? These work very well together. These are looking pretty good. So again, I don't necessarily want a short pose on that, so I'm going to just keep this up and keep the browse mid down up. And I'll move ahead another 5 frames, so just so I can kind of read it a bit better. Then I'll select all and just key back to 0. There we go. Sorry, yeah, keyed. Yeah, key back to 0, so I'll just slide this back there. And go ahead, 5 more frames. I'm going to just key all again. And then I'll do the, let's say the browse mid up. Browse mid up. There we go. And I'll jump ahead another 5 or 10 frames. Key all. Go ahead another 5 frames. I'll try maybe the squeeze with it as well. Whoa, you don't want that. It's total nightmare fuel. Okay. Browse, squeeze, right? So we can pinch them together. And then I think I'll start a transition as well. So they're up and squeezing. So go ahead another 5 frames and turn down the mid. There we go. And you can adjust too. Like if this is, I've gone to an extreme, and if it looks kind of rough on its own, I'm going to just dial it back to a level that for me looks good. Okay, there. 175. Again, I'll jump ahead maybe like 10 frames to key all, just so I can kind of hold that sort of facial pose. And key, and then go ahead 5 more frames. Set this to 0. Then I'll do the squint here. So go ahead and 5 more frames, go to squint. Okay. So again, we can key this. Yeah, I'll do maybe a little partial blink. And these I don't have to hold as long, so I'm going to just key these again. Okay, and then I'll select all. Just key everything, set it to 0. So right here, when it comes to blinks, blinks are literally, you know, the equivalent of 1 to 3 frames maybe. And usually, I don't remember if they're quicker on the close versus the open. I'd have to double check that. But so what I want you to do is do this the full blink. So I'll take this and basically, yeah, this is keyed. I'll literally go ahead like 2 frames, okay? From 210 to 212. Then I'll go blink, 2 frames ahead, blink, and again, I'll just cap this by keying everything. Then I'll go ahead 2 frames. Then I'll just do one side, blink, 2 more frames. Let's just select all cap just in case. 2 frames ahead, blink, 2 frames ahead, blink, and then let's just do a little preview here. Okay, that's pretty good. I might make the blinks a little bit longer. They seem a little short just because I want to be able to preview the deformation, but yeah, I can still kind of go frame by frame, which looks good. Okay. This is okay. And then, like I said, if you want to have just like something where there's a bit more of a full expression, then I might just add a little bit of time. Usually my timeline winds up really only being about 200 frames to like 260, 280, something like that. So it's nothing too extensive, unless you have a lot of blend shapes. But for this set, it's usually not a super long render. So again, yeah, let me just select all, basically cap it with the keys. Then I'll move ahead about 5 frames and let's see, upper lip up to show some teeth. Brows out up. And usually a squint. To have like a genuine smile, you want to have a bit of a squint. Okay. I'll select everything here. Key. Maybe just go ahead like 5 frames. Key. Go ahead 5 and key. Go ahead to 250. I'll do sort of a bit more of an angry expression here. And there we go. I'll do a bit of open, a bit of frown, lower lip, lower lip down, expose more teeth, upper lip up. You can do a bit of narrow, brows mid down, maybe a brow squeeze on top. You can also do a squint and a bit of a suspicious look, right? Just sort of seeing a little bit of variety. And then again, I'll make sure. I think it's all capped. So I'm just going to go ahead another 5 frames. Key, and then, yeah, right about 260 here. I'll just set it all to 0. So I'll set my timeline to end at 260. And let's just hit the playback. Okay, I think that looks pretty good overall. I do want to watch out for things being too fast. I do, you know, sometimes I get a demo and I feel like there's like only 2 or 3 frames between an expression. It's usually not enough to see the full range of motion. But I think overall this is working pretty good. Okay.